Welcome back to Livin' in Sedona channel. I'm Cami and today is hike day, and hopefully you can see behind me where we're hiking to, which is Cathedral Rock. We are going to be doing, this is actually my favorite hike in all of Sedona. I love this hike because the views are just amazing. So we want to hurry up and get started because it takes about an hour and a half for this to go up and back down, and so we're going to get started. I'm going to talk with you along the way and tell you some things about the trail and what you need to prepare for this hike. So let's go. We are currently at one of the trailhead parking areas for the Cathedral Rock Trail. Just so you know, the parking trailheads are closed Thursday through Sunday. So if you're coming Thursday through Sunday, you will have to take the Sedona Shuttle. You can find more out about that at sedonashuttle.com, and you don't have to pay to park there or take the shuttle. So the other two parking areas for the trailhead off of Back O Beyond, there's about 20 parking spots in each lot. So the first one you come to might be full, so just go down a little ways, like literally, I don't know, maybe 30 feet, and there's another parking area there as well. So it's not very far if you have to park at the other trailhead. But just remember that you want to start this trail early for if you're coming when the shuttle isn't running, so you can park here. Because if you don't park here and the shuttle's not running, you'll need to park at like the Little Horse Trailhead, which is quite a ways away. It's going to add probably another mile to your hike. So just keep that in mind if you're planning on doing Cathedral Rock, because parking is a big issue for this trail. All right. Red Rock Pass is also required at this trailhead, which you can purchase here as well. So some things to prepare for this hike. I always try to tell you kind of what we have in our backpack. So as usual, we have waters, bananas, nuts, tissues, sunscreen, and our phones. Now, you don't have to bring your phone, but I know you're going to want to because you want to take pictures. But I always tell you to have the All Trails app. You really don't need it for this hike because it is a very, very well marked trail and a very well traveled trail, and so you're not going to get lost, and people are going to be encouraging you and talking to you while you're on this trail about, oh, you've got this much farther to go, it's worth it, it's this, it's that. So if you don't have the All Trails app, don't worry. This is just one of those trails that it's beautiful and you don't have to worry about getting lost.
We thought it was going to be a mellow hike. Oh, a little bird.
Well, good job.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
So we just passed a young lady with 2 dogs, and I want to just mention, yes, you can bring your dogs. Of course, they have to be on a leash. I don't know why you would want to bring your dogs because, well, you'll see when we get to it, there's a lot of scrambling on this trail, which is another reason why I like it. If you want a challenge, I feel like it's a good challenge, and you have to have some Spider-Man moves for this hike, which I like. So I just wanted to mention that about the dogs, that, if your dog is pretty athletic, then I guess bring them. This is also a hike that if you're visiting from a sea level area, then this is not the first hike that I would recommend you do coming to Sedona. The reason is because you're going up about another 720 feet. So if you're not acclimated to the altitude and you're not hydrated, you're going to experience some dizziness and unbalance, which is not really what you need for this trail. So keep that in mind if you're coming from an area of sea level. So give yourself a few days to get acclimated, do an easier trail, and then maybe do this trail, you know, your second, third, fourth day while you're here if you're visiting. You need good shoes for this trail. I also would recommend, if you have poles, that would be a good idea. We don't use them, but this is a trail that if I had them, I might use them. Comfortable clothing, obviously. This is actually a trail that I don't wear shorts on because of the scrambling. You could easily scratch your leg or whatever, so I always wear leggings. This is also a beautiful spot for a wedding, and as you can see during our hike, they just, I think, got done with the ceremony as we were coming up the hill because they were clapping, but it looks like now they're getting pictures. But can you imagine trekking up here for that in your wedding dress? I don't know. But this is one of the scrambles. And I want to say something about this part. You need to have all your stuff packed because your hands need to be free for putting in the nooks and crannies to, yeah, like an English muffin, to, grab and push and pull. So this is not, we're not going to have the camera out most likely doing this because I don't have a GoPro, but if you want to donate one, happy to accept it. Anyway, just make sure that all your stuff is secured and packed because you need your hands when it comes to the scrambling. One of the other reasons I like this trail is the foliage. I love all the different greeneries here, but if my cameraman will follow me, I'm going to tell you a story about, I don't even know what these are called, but I love them. The first time we did this trail, these were so pretty and they actually bloom. It was in the spring. And I went up to grab it. Don't do this, by the way. I went up to grab it because I just thought, oh, the leaves, I'm just going to go like this and feel them. There are spikes here. Don't do that. So you can see these are, camouflaged by these beautiful green leaves. But when you're standing back from a distance, it's just, oh, it's such a pretty plant. And you think, oh, me being from Ohio, I'm just going to run my hand up and down that. But no, I'm not going to do that because there's spikes in everything here. Remember that. Okay, we're going to stop right here. And I'm just going to have you look at where the camera is looking at right now, because again, this is a trail that you can't get off trail. You're just going straight up, right? So for me, when I look at this, I'm short. I don't have the leg span to do huge, spans. Like, I'm automatically thinking that my husband would probably do this straight here because he has a bigger leg span than I do. Whereas I'm looking on this side because it looks more like steps. So honestly, I think I'm gonna try that way because I have a short leg span and I can, you know, hop on those rocks and go up. The other way you could go is, this is kind of, I would say, in between this and this, but if you look over here to the left part of your camera screen, those ledges there, you could do that, but it's going to be a lot more pulling yourself, pushing yourself with your legs. So you actually have 3 options right now to go here, but I'm going to go this way because I have short legs. And just making sure that my feet are in the nooks, the crannies, the ledges. And as you can see, I'm pushing and pulling myself to help. So you really need some, and actually you could cut across this way. I'm not going to do that. I have more ledge here. Woohoo! So last night, my husband and I, the cameraman Greg is filming, we watched Angel and the Bad Man, filmed in 1947 here in Sedona with John Wayne. And the movie we watched last night, they originally did it in black and white. So they redid it to make, like, add the color. But when they did the color, the red rocks are all white, so they really did not do us justice. But it was just such an interesting movie to look at and see where there's houses now, like what you're looking at right now. That this is actually where the movie spent most of the filming, over by Chapel of the Holy Cross and Chicken Point, where all those homes are. It was just flat, and that's where they filmed the parts of the homestead that was in the movie. And so it was kind of interesting to see that movie. And they actually had Thunder Mountain and Coffee Pot Rock in that movie as well. That's where the town was located in the movie. But if you want to watch that movie, definitely take a look at it, but just be aware that the rocks aren't red in the movie, they're white, because it was originally filmed in black or white. So we're just about there, but I wanted to give you a picture of this little stairway to heaven here. Once you get here, know that you are very close. So after we get up there through this staircase, there's another little scramble to where we'll stop, and you're going to get to see the beautiful views, what you've been, waiting for this whole hike. So when you see the stairway to the rocks in the heavens, I guess, know that you are very, very close. Don't quit now, and keep going. You can do it. You guys see all this rope? This is new. It probably has been a hot minute, maybe a year, maybe not quite, since the last time I did it. This trail, but this roping to the top is new, so that'll help if we need help. You can tell there's no hand grab. Don't throw great. Rope. So when you reach the top of the trail, it opens up basically to this area that is the north tower of the cathedral, the south side. On the north side, you might see people walking out to a little ledge, which is actually where I'm at right I mean, it's about 5 to 6 feet wide, and it's not treacherous, so it's pretty flat. But I still be cautious, but it's not anything, you need to be afraid of. The other thing that I wanted to mention is when you get to the top, after you've done all that climbing and scrambling, your knees might be a little wobbly. So just take extra caution with your footing when you're up here, because there are a lot of, ridges and crannies, like I like to call them, in the rocks. And so you still need to be aware of your footing. But your knees and ankles might be a little wobbly, so just take extra precaution. Okay, so when you get to the top of the trail, if you go to the left side, which would be the south-facing cathedral, this is where you're going to have the most shade. I want to just mention that because this trail is in the elements. Like, there's not a lot of shade until you get to the top. So there might be some small shaded trees that you can maybe take a little sit under, but there's not a whole lot of shade on this trail until you get to the top, which, if you want my honest opinion, I think it's well deserved at that point. So this is a very popular spot to sit here in between the north and the south tower. And I want to just point out a few things. So this side faces down into the Oak Creek area, kind of like West Sedona towards Cottonwood and Cornville. If you move to the left over, you can see Mingus Mountains, and you can see all the way down to Jerome. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but if you look hard enough, you can actually see the J on the mountain. So that's where Jerome is, down that way. This is one of my favorite reasons why I love this trail. If you can come around to the south side and walk on the very thin ledge that I just came across and sit here, you can look at the Chapel of the Holy Cross, and you can see Broken Arrow and Submarine Mountains, and this is just, I think, one of the most beautiful views here. And I think what's great about this trail is you can see all of Sedona from some side. So this is like, the chapel area, and then on the other side you see West Sedona. So if you really want to take in some great views, this is the place. Someone once told me, if you need to think through things, go take a hike. And I think that's so true. It really just changes your perspective on things and the situation that you might be contemplating. And so being in nature is a good way to clear your mind and your thoughts and just get a different perspective on things. And don't forget to be out in nature and enjoy what God has given us. So, all right, well, guess what? We have to go back down. We probably won't film the way down. Actually, we are going to film some things on the way down. Some tidbits about going down. It's different than coming up. I always recommend going down backwards or using the crawl walk on some of the slicker areas or those flat areas. It's better if you go down backwards or do your crab walk. So I wanted Greg to film me walking back so you could see how tight this is, because if you want to sit here, enjoy this beautiful view, I just want you to see what you're up against. This is probably the tightest area right where I'm standing, and that's as far as I'm going. So I think our daughter went out one or two more, but I'm not that brave. So that was probably skinny, and this is a skinny area. And so hug the rock when you're going. There's a ledge for you to, get your footing. And really, by the time you make it here, you're good, because this is not hairy scary. Good. I'm gonna go down backwards and Greg's gonna film this, but this is the spot where I showed you had 3 options to come up, and you actually have 3 options to go down, but I'm gonna go down the way that I came up because I feel it's better to do that going backwards, because as you can see, these are kind of like stairs, but my knees are really wobbly right now because of all the climbing that I've been doing, and I don't trust myself to go down the other way, forward facing. So that's why there are times going down that you need to go backwards. Okay. Good. Well, you guys, this was the scramble coming up. I usually do it backwards. I don't usually do it forward facing. And I didn't even check to see. Nobody's coming up. That's good. Who's behind me? Oh. My feet are small for this, but if you don't have small feet, you're gonna have to you're gonna do like Spider-Man moves, guys. My feet are able to fit in these little crannies and little crevices. Why do I say crannies? I don't know. I know that this can be not safe for some people because your foot can get caught and get twisted. But I've literally done this several times, 3-4 times. So I know that I've never had that issue. I might have a hole in my leggings by the time this is over. All right, well, we made it. Just remember, however far you go in is the same way you got to come out. So I always think on some of these hikes, this is one of them, going back is harder, I think. But anyway, I hope the hike was informative for you, enjoyable for you, gave you some helpful information on what you need to do and to prep for this hike. I wanted to mention, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we will be having some of the upcoming videos that we're going to be doing are building a home in Sedona, what that looks like. We're going to be taking a look at an affordable home with views that also has a casita. So that's going to be probably next week. And then a fun video that Greg and I are going to do is some of the funny questions that we get asked about living in Arizona. So if you have a question, submit it and maybe we'll include it in that video. So those are just some of the video ideas and content that we're going to be sharing for the rest of September. All right. Again, hopefully the video was informative for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And as always, make it a great day at Living in Sedona. I'll see you next week.